Fore-aft balance is movement of the center of mass toward the tip of the ski and in the direction of the tail. While staying centered is a good position for low-level skiers, it should be realized that the fastest skiing consists of deliberate and controlled fore-aft movements along the longitudinal axis of the ski. With an average of 85/100ths of a second per turn, quickness and tempo is a unique and specific characteristic of slalom. Although quickness is valued, these fast movements need to be extremely accurate. The key to accurate and fast movements is in the ankles. This is the base of the skier and the connection to the ski.
When talking about fore-aft balance, the first and most important thing to talk about is the ankles. The ankles are the connection between the body and the skis. The ankles need to be flexed, and if we can maintain that ankle flexion at all time in both legs, we're going to be really skiing well.
The ankles connect the skier to the skis. In spite of the 3,000 sit-ups per day regime to strengthen the core, movement of the center mass relative to the skis is primarily achieved via the muscles of the ankles. With slalom's high demands and speed of movements, the ankles need to be constantly ready for action, because action never ceases. The ankles are in a flexed attitude, and the muscles that control flexion are in tension. This means that they are not just dorsiflexed, but flexed with tension. Flexed ankles are necessary, tension is mandatory. The coach can easily see flexed ankles with the athlete in the proverbial athletic stance. But muscle tension is hidden underneath the ski suit, disguised with the skin and camouflaged inside the plastic of the ski boot. Tension is in the muscles and cannot be seen. Just because an ankle is flexed does not mean the ankle musculature is in tension. Tension creates muscular innervation that prepares the ski racer for the very quick turns, tempo, and rhythm changes ahead. Constant and immediate innervation is needed because turns are faster than 1 turn per second. Add in a rhythm change, and the need is amplified.
If we can maintain ankle flexion, we can be very quick with our edge-to-edge movements. You can have control of what's happening underneath your body through your ankle flexion. As soon as you lose ankle flexion or ankle tension, then you have a hard time controlling what the ski is doing. And if you have that ankle flexion, you're in charge of what is going on for that ski-snow contact in that relationship.
How can we teach this innervation? The push-me-pull-me drill is a great way to feel this ankle innervation. The goal for the ski racer in the push-me-pull-me drill is to stay perpendicular to the skis. To be successful, the ski racer will need to innervate or create tension in the ankle muscles prior to the coach pushing and pulling on their skis. The ankles seem to get the lion's share of attention for moving the center mass forward. This is justifiable due to their proximity with the ski. Acting as an inverted pendulum for balance, their location allows them the largest range of fore-aft motion. Besides the ankles, the knees and hips also contribute to moving the center mass fore and aft. Specifically, extension of the knees shifts the center mass forward, as will extension of the hip and hip flexion when it results in a forward attitude of the torso. Articulation of the ankle, knee, and hip are essential for fore-aft balance. It must be remembered that balance is in response to the external demands. Movement of the center mass from the front of the ski to the tail is not just a movement, but a movement to facilitate the ski arcing. This fore-aft movement is part of the balance window. This is the range that the ski racer wants to maximize. The ski racer, having command of this extreme fore-aft range, can do more with the ski. In fact, it is an aspect of dynamic balance that is essential for elite ski racing. Utilizing the entire ski from tip to tail is crucial for fast, carved turns. Tip pressure allows the ski tip to enter the snow, essentially excavating a groove for the rest of the ski to follow. The skier then moves their center mass afterward, moving pressure from the tip to the middle of the ski and finally to the tail. This fore to aft movement reduces the ski tip plowing effect and creates the groove for the ski racer to balance against while carving a turn. Going from turn to turn in slalom obviously has to be quick. With the goal of clean skis, there needs to be tip pressure to start the turn. This is accomplished by moving the center mass toward the ski tip. The rate of moving the body forward can create more or less tip pressure, while moving fast creates more pressure, moving slow creates less. This amount of tip pressure at turn initiation is a too much, too little dilemma. Too much tip pressure and the ski excavates excess snow, while with too little tip pressure, the ski risks never even entering the snow. In spite of the speed of forward movement, the goal of getting the ski tip engaged at turn initiation is essential and accomplished with the forward movement of the center of mass. The actual amount of ankle articulation is determined by terrain demands and how effectively the skier pressures the ski. Coaches need to be aware that placing undue emphasis on just bending the ankles may distract the athlete from the more important aspect of pressuring the ski.
To maintain balance through terrain, it's important that we use our ankles, knees, and hips, and that they all flex in a similar pattern. Maintaining snow contact and maintaining balance over rolls and different types of terrain requires moving the body to match to the terrain you're skiing.
While pressuring the ski tip is important, it is a very short-lived event and only a small portion of the turn. The slalom stance is dynamic, meaning that posture is changing every moment of the turn.
The key to fore-aft balance for me is to try not to stay in one position, because skiing is such a fluid sport. You're always moving, and if you become static with your fore-aft balance, then the rest of your turn is going to be static. So it's really important to be able to be forward at the top of the turn and then use not the tails of your skis, but let your skis kind of shoot out from under you a little bit and just try to play with the entire ski, because you have a whole ski for a reason. You want to use the whole thing as a tool, and if you can use the tip to tail perfectly and be in balance, then you're going to have a faster turn.
In fact, it is the smooth movement of the center mass from tip to tail that makes fast skiing possible. The elite skier pressures the ski tip just enough to create the intended groove and then adjusts and relieves this pressure. This leaves just enough groove to carve the turn. Think of hitting a nail with a hammer. If the hammer comes down fast, the nail goes into the wood. If the hammer contacts the nail slowly, there will be very little force and the nail will not penetrate the wood. The trick is hitting the nail with just enough force, hard enough that it goes into the wood, but not so far that the nail ends up overburied or beneath the wood surface. While a deep groove feels secure and fast, it feels secure because it is deep. That is because the ski has pushed a lot of snow out of the way. Pushing that snow creates friction, which eats up the skier's speed. The elite skier creates just enough groove in the snow to hold the ski while allowing it to change directions.